Now, you think I'm college educated. You watch the tape in the purple with 33 and you just go, damn it. But here's what they get into, guys. They go two tight ends. This is the first play of the game. It's not even a good run. They just go base stuff. Aaron picks up 3, 4 yards, but it's all a setup. Again, two tight end looks. This is the keys to their offense last week. Because out here, they can run the play action pass stuff. So another run down the middle, right? They're not picking up a ton of yards. They have Darrisaw's a good player. They got a good, not great offensive line. Here's the deal: the key to the Packers, they did such a good job last week, disrupting at the line of scrimmage, making him jump cut in the backfield. And in this game, they're trying to pick up those two double teams in the run game on the inside. So you're trying to get a double left guard in the center and the right guard and the right tackle here. Darrisaw's a good player. They're going to leave him on his own. Linebackers got to fire. This is the game where linebackers, like McDuffie's been doing it. Quaid did it better last week. Cooper's, we're all getting better. We got to fire this week because they will live off those doubles. And we know how good Aaron Jones is. Once he disappears behind that double, you don't know where he's coming out. Got to fire your gun here. See it, trust it, go. You see the Texans linebacker heads the wrong way, got a problem. Okay. This is why they're doing everything. This is why they're running play action pass. Number one, it helps advance. When I say advance speed, what am I talking about? It helps Justin Jefferson get up to speed. It gives him time to run a deep crosser. Okay, number one. When the quarterback turns his back, number two, right? He doesn't have to read the defense anymore. He's looking for specific people. Like, in other words, when you go play action pass, you turn back to the defense, your reads become simplified. It doesn't matter if it's 7, 5, 2, 4, 1, 3, Robert, Lurk. You look at your spots and you make a decision. The reads become easier. And then the third is like this team is not great at pass protection one-on-one. When you go two tight ends or you go tight end attached under center and you go play action pass, we've talked about it for years on this show. It makes the game easier for the people up front. And listen, there's no apologizing for it. If I was them, I would run it every play. If I was like, when we ran it all the time. It makes our lives easier, right? You sit and drop. Actually, having to drop back and shotgun is hard. This is much, much easier. So you're just taking advantage of this deep safety. I mean, Jefferson is so wide open. He's the best player on the field, and he's open by what? Getting trailed by 7 yards. Safety's 12 yards away from him. It's like, what are we doing? And Sam Darnold can throw the football. It's like Sam Darnold's problem was never that he couldn't throw to a spot, right? We always talk about pocket presence, information processing, all that kind of stuff. And what did O'Connell do? He's like, oh, okay, well, he's not good at that. He can throw the ball. Let's put him in situations where he doesn't have to process as much, and he's going to have a relatively clean pocket. So we go under center again. They're in 11 here, but they go from attached tight end, and they run the Showtime screen game. Look, the safety comes down and sees this. The guard just does a masterful job of getting out in there and making that one block. He springs him for, what is that, 20 yards? We know how good he is in the screen game, man. They used it a couple times this game. I think they had 3 for 1 for a touchdown. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Easy timing for a quarterback. So you got 7 guys at the line of scrimmage inside the box for the Minnesota Vikings. So you are grabbing the attention of, 4 across, 3 second level, and that safety is 8 yards deep. Okay, and you got the one guy back. Now, right now, all you're doing is picking on that corner. And that corner's playing outside leverage because he's trying to funnel into the safety. They bring a second one out. That safety has to back up because they run the go. Corner's playing off because he's outside leverage. The linebackers are nowhere to be found because they got so many people in the box. Another easy middle field throw. Now, here's where it gets interesting, right? They go motion to trips. Now he's in gun. What are the problems with gun with Sam Darnold or any quarterback? Read complexity changes. Timing changes. Footwork timing changes. And now your offensive line has to have true pass pro. Like this situation, this was a pass protection moment. And we'll see a handful of these right now where they get to Darnold. And it's not that, in this case, especially, like, this is nobody's fault. I think the tight end runs into the tackle. But this is the kind of stuff, he's not getting the ball out of his hands. Maybe he sees the rush. This is not his strong suit. So this is what we have to attack. And it's like, I think what you have to do is when you get in these situations, it's not like they didn't have any success doing it, otherwise they wouldn't do it. But if you just look at the game, there's far more successful plays when they're under center play action versus shotgun drop back. Okay, so when they're in this, we have to know we have to have a pass rush plan. Maybe this is when we're going to fire a safety. We're going to, we want to get guys singled up here. Like, bottom line, you want to get guys singled up. Occupy the center of the off guard. So they run the game. You got to take advantage of this stuff. This is the time. You're going to make plays. I think they had 4 sacks. Now, unfortunately, the Vikings had 6. So they go motion, under center play action again, right? 2 tight ends. So they're just running a twins look out here off the motion, and they're going to run a go, and then they're going to run the 15-yard out, and everyone's worried about the go. And again, the guy can throw the football as well as anybody. He's got a strong arm. It was never the question. But you get back in gun, and all of a sudden it's playing find the fish again. Find the fish. Somebody asked me where find the fish was. You know what it is? It's a poker term. The fish. The fish is the guy who's losing at the table. I had no idea. I thought I made it up. That's how stupid I am. But I'm telling you, I said this last year, and it happened on the first play. Rashawn Gary got him. But we need to put a pass rusher, Carl Brown, Barre, Preston, Rashawn. Somebody needs to be on 67 in 3rd down and 8 when they go shotgun. He will get beat. Give him a chance. Now we go gun again, and what do? They bail out with Aaron Jones, man. And I put it in green and gold, man. We miss you. Josh Jacobs is a great player. Aaron Jones is kind of 1 of 1. He's a 1 of 1, and sometimes the business part of this sucks. Man, he's good. I love this one here, just kind of an interesting play. So they go motion to trip, shotgun, empty, which I thought was probably a good move for them. Get some options. Now watch the middle of the field here. This guy's running like a streak to the far corner, and watch, he just sits down. I mean, it's a pretty good route. So he doesn't, instead of running into safety, he just has an option to stop right there. Now, usually they run that right up the middle of the field at like 20 yards and come back to 15. This dude was running a streak, and they actually had time from pass pro to get this ball off. It's a really nice play. But that's it, man. This is a very good defensive football team. This is a very good defensive football. They do some stuff. They do some stuff on defense that is, especially when it's loud. I think Lambeau will help a lot. You'll have some clarity, and it's just like anything else. If you move guys around, you're gonna at least get an idea of where they might be coming from. Now, the thing about Flores is he might walk up 8 at the line of scrimmage. Like, it doesn't matter when anybody else is lined up. He'll make it look like it's 0. So, all right, we got a couple listener questions. This is my bad. I didn't put these out enough or early enough, but I got a couple. Okay, can you explain what Flores is doing with that defense generally? Yeah, I did. How did Packers protect? Because I'm thoroughly confused. So I think there's 2 trains of thought here. One is, do you spread everybody out so it becomes obvious where they can come or not? And then, like if you go, let's say you go empty. Let's just go, you go 3 by 2 empty, and everybody's off the tackle. So let's say you're 6 yards off the tackles, 2 guys outside, and 6 yards off the tackles, or 10 yards off the tackle, and then you got a guy outside the number, something like that. When you do that, you're giving quick options for the quarterback where the declaration of the extra guy who might be going, if it's a slot guy. So in other words, you're going to count for the box. You can go, 4 down plus the Mike, or 4 down plus the Will if there's 6 in the box. But if you go empty, there's probably a 5-man box. And if anybody shows up aside from that, right, if they put 6 in the box and they put 5 on the line because they want you to go 5 down, you're going to have quick options because you have one-on-one somewhere. And these guys aren't, this is not an unbeatable team on an individual level. The problem is he's forcing you to do stuff you don't want to do, especially with a backup quarterback. Now, how do you beat it out of 12? How do you beat it? the motion, the orbit, all that stuff. The good news is that Green Bay can run, like they can run the orbit motion, for example, and they can run probably 6 different plays, and they all kind of look the same in the snap. So the key is obviously to be able to continue to run the football at a clip that affords you third and shorts, or third and manageables. Um, Last week, if we're just being honest about the Texans game, as well as as well as the Vikings played, the truth is, like, they penalized themselves out of the game, and then it just kind of started piling. Like, once you have 9 penalties, like, things start piling on. It just didn't go well. But I think Green Bay can you can always spread it out and make it obvious for the quarterback, or you can just leave more people in. I think the problem with that is when you start leaving guys in and they're declared to one side or another, particularly at the tight end, like Tucker Kraft's playing well. Do we want him blocking Jonathan Greenard? No, we sure as hell don't want Luke Musgrave doing it. If I'm the quarterback, I don't want that. If I'm an offensive lineman, I prefer that to not happen. So maybe you put him in the backfield. There's a couple different ways to do it. Maybe you just go 5 down with 2 guys, plug in the B and the A gaps. So they can do a couple different things here. They can certainly move the pocket, but I think staying in the same place would be a problem. Yeah. So he just asked, how do you ensure Greener is picked up by the front 5 and not, let's say, not Luke Musgrave? Yeah, I think that's how we would do it. Yeah. So I got a disagreement on contract year. I was a subtle joke I've had on the Andy Herman show. Listen, guys, this is going to be an interesting game. I think both teams are playing really well. I wonder let me see what the spread is. Does ESPN have the spread? Yeah, it does. Good for them. Green Bay by 2.5 at home. Not bad. Did not see that coming. Keys to victory, quickly. I think there are plays to be made in the secondary. Let's talk about our offense versus their defense. The number one thing is when they jump into their bear. If we choose to play that way, they jump into the bear. We need to understand if we're going to go K4, K5 with a full slide, like what the problems are, and try to move the pocket away from that. Or we just need to go 5 down and have them pick up the guys in the middle. So like plug in the B gaps. We used to do this with James Campen as the coach. You used to actually sit like the back of the tight end in like the B gap, like right off the line of scrimmage. And they would do that so they could, like, if the guy got beat or if he bumped off games, you did it against a good player, you did it off games or teams that run like a lot of TTEs or something like that. So I think there's a couple different ways to do that. But there are plays to be made against this team. There are matchups that you like across the board, I think, at the receiver position. And quite frankly, I think if you run more gap stuff and less zone stuff, you're going to have a lot more success because we remember now we can run gap to the tight end, we can run gap to the hip off tight end on the backside. We can have counters and stuff where we're leading to the open end. So there's a lot of ways we can run that. We're much better as a team anyway. So I think we can see success there. I love the way Josh Jacobs run that. But you got to be able to establish the run game. Certainly, we didn't do a great job of that traditionally last week. But you have 73 yards from Willis. You got 50 more yards from Jalen Reed on some of the different stuff, and all of a sudden it looks pretty good. But I think minimizing the mistakes at the line of scrimmage and communication are the keys there. And let's just be really candid about what the Green Bay Packers need to continue to do on defense. Create turnovers, number one, and like Aaron Jones. This feels like a day where Aaron Jones could have, this feels like a day where Aaron Jones could have a big day because he's Aaron Jones, and it would be the perfect story if he came home and have a big day, at least in the Aaron Jones family. And we have to, I think, prevent that from happening. If we do that and put the shoulders, put the burden of winning the game on the shoulders of Sam Darnold, the under center, 2 tight end, 12 personnel or 11 personnel stuff only works for so long if you have to be in the game. So it's like if the game starts out like it did last week and everything kind of looks good for Green Bay, they put him in that shotgun. He's got to start dealing. Like, you feel a lot better about your chances. Okay. So, anyways, I'm Mike Wall. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy. This is a fun team to watch. It's a fun team to watch. Find me at Michael City on Twitter. Check out our Process Perform channel on YouTube. Like, subscribe, rate, review. Thanks to Bet Online as always for their sponsorship, and talk to you next week.